Rikki Soumpholphakdy here for the ring. I am here with undefeated junior middleweight Xander Zayas. Xander, how are we feeling right now, man?
I feel amazing, man. A couple days out from a fight, and I'm excited. I'm excited for this one. It's one step closer to a world title and an undefeated fighter. So the most important fight of my career thus far.
Listen, we're back in New York City right now. It's essentially become your second home. How are you feeling? This time around. This is what? How many times have you fought? Like 5, 6 times already? Correct me if I'm wrong.
This is fight number 7. This is fight number 7, and yeah, like you said, this become my second house. I'm comfortable here. I love the people. I love the city. It's just second nature now. They tell me New York. It's like, okay, close your eyes and just pack everything. So it's amazing to be back in the city that never sleeps and ready to put on a show.
I mean, talking about the people, it's your people, right? It's Puerto Rico. It's the Puerto Rican community. I mean, it goes back to Miguel Cotto, Felix Trinidad. Talk about having that, I guess wouldn't say that pressure, but just having that support from those same fans who supported those legends. And now, you're following their footsteps.
Man, it's amazing. It's amazing to just be 22, having my 7th fight here at Madison Square Garden, having the Puerto Rican crowd coming from Puerto Rico and from here, from New York. And a lot of people that was around the time when Tito and Miguel Cotto was around keep coming to support me and keep coming to showcase and show the love is beautiful. It's amazing and something that I never take for granted.
For sure, and it's been amazing to see over the years. Again, you're fighting Slawa Spomer, who's also 20-0. He's a tough, rugged fighter. He's on a 3-fight knockout streak. I got to ask, how do you stop that?
Man, by showing him and showing the world that he's not at my level. I feel like he's coming with a lot of confidence, but I feel like I'm just a better fighter than he is in every aspect of the game. And to do that, I have to perform on Friday night, follow the game plan, obviously have fun, and beat him up.
And going back to the New York thing and making it basically your second home, do you kind of feel like you have home field advantage in a sense, kind of like in the NBA and the NFL, where you got the crowd over? You think that's going to help, or do you just kind of like zone it out?
To be honest, it does help a little bit because, in a way, they feel the pressure to try to do something differently because it's the first time in New York. And for me, it's like, okay, I'm comfortable here. I know what to expect now. The crowd, every time I land a punch, they're gonna go crazy for me. When he's doing something, they just gonna be quiet. So for him, he's gonna have that pressure to try to do something outside of what he's been doing. For me, it's just having fun in there and going and doing my job.
Yeah, and it's great to see because we saw you last June. You headlined your first main event against Teixeira, and then you came back in September. And it's always just a loud and rugged crowd, and it's crazy how much they support you. I didn't want to. I know you have a big task ahead on Friday, and I didn't want to look too far ahead. But listen, man, there's a fight next week in Saudi Arabia that you could have been fighting on. So I want to talk about that real quick. You got Vergil Ortiz against Israil Madrimov, and there was a chance that you could have fought Ortiz on this card, and you were very public about it on Twitter. Tell me what happened there, and why the fight didn't happen.
Well, they did offer me the fight. They gave me an hour to answer to the call. We answered right away, and I feel like I needed to go on social media and let the fans know that the fight was offered and that I accepted. So in case he went back and said, "Oh no, Xander didn't accept," or we offer it to Xander, I needed the fans to know that I accepted first and that I was the one that said yes. But we also knew that he had other options, and he went the safer route. I mean, fighting a former world champion. If he wins, he beat a former world champion. If he loses to the former world champion. Fighting me, he loses to the young guy. It's like, oh wait, it's what was all this hype about? So you know, it's it's business at the end of the day. I'm not mad about it. I know the fight will take place in the near future, and it's a fight that will make a lot more sense here in the United States.
And I know you said you weren't mad about the fight not happening, but Ortiz Sr. did say you were not qualified, although you were ranked, what, WBO number one, right? And you're ranked top five, and I think the
Number
W.
three WBC, number
Yep.
5 IBF.
Yep.
So for him to say I'm not qualified uh, doesn't make any sense. I mean, if we look at the facts, I'm ranked. I'm a ranked fighter. Um, but hey, for each his own. I know when this fight take place, I'm gonna do what I always been doing and showcase why I'm one of the best at 154 pounds.
No, we're all excited. I think that the Puerto Rico versus Mexico storyline is a big thing. You're both undefeated. You're both big names in the sport, and that's a fight that's bound to happen. I think that we all want to see. Getting back to you being ranked high in three of the major sanctioning bodies, how badly do you want a title shot next?
I feel like the next fight should be a title shot. After I win Friday night, I should get the winner of Sebastian Fundora and Booker. I feel like that's the next fight to be set up. It only makes sense. I'm already number one at the WBO, which Sebastian Fundora holds, and I'm already number three at the WBC, which he also holds. So it only makes sense to make that fight happen.
I think a lot of fans would love to see that happen. Obviously, there's the promotional issues with him being at PBC. You're at Top Rank, so that'll be, I know that's probably going to be a hurdle. If you can't get that fight, I know you've been vocal about guys like Erickson Lubin, Josh Kelly. Even I saw Erickson Lubin talking about, hey, if I can't get the shot, I'd love to fight Xander. And you responded like, hey, this would be a great fight in South Florida. And a guy who used to live in Miami in South Florida, like I also think it'd be great with him being from Atlanta, you living down there in Plantation. So what are your thoughts on a potential fight with Erickson Lubin possibly in Florida?
Man, and I feel like that's also a fight that makes sense. I think he grew up in Orlando too, in the Orlando area. Um, I've been in South Florida for over 10 years, so it's a fight that definitely makes sense in Florida to be to be set up. But it doesn't matter where they put it. If they can put it in Vegas, they can put it in New York, LA, anywhere. I go out there and beat them too.
And going back to Josh Kelly, what if that fight was offered and they said come to the UK? How would you feel about that?
I go to his own house and beat him too. I mean, this Josh Kelly has nothing on me. Um, all this, oh, he went to the Olympics. Man, that doesn't make any sense. He doesn't look like an Olympic fighter. And all respect to all of them. At the end of the day, it comes down to just who's better, and I just feel like I'm better than all of them.
And there's another fight out there that some people have talked about on Twitter. There's a guy who also makes New York Madison Square Garden his second home, Callum Walsh, who's I think he's with Tom Loeffler and Dana White. Is that a fight that would interest you? Maybe sometime in the future at the Garden with his fans, with the Irish, your fans, with the Puerto Ricans. How do you feel about that?
Definitely, I feel like it will be a big fight, kind of like Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor when they fought here. That was a huge fight. So I feel like that's a fight that will make sense in the future. As we both grow, as we both get to the top level, that's a fight that definitely makes a lot of sense. And I think it's a fight that we can really make happen. As he worked with Tom and I work with Top Rank, it's a fight that they can work closely and make something happen.
Definitely a fight we'd want to see. There's a lot of great fights for you on the table, man. Looking forward to Friday. Appreciate the time.
Now I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much, and I see you guys Friday night.